Yeah. Literally and physically.
Spiderwire hat.
You're wearing a Cummins hat.
Yeah, but the camo is the same. Remember when we were putting this up, I told you
God, that's two different things. I have a Cummins hat too. That's closer to that. You sure you're not drunk already?
I might be. You
Fuck.
don't know.
You don't know shit.
You don't know my life.
I was like, there's no Cummins hat up there, guy.
No, but I told you when we were putting the hats up and when we were grabbing them, I was like, I thought that you stole one of my hats because I didn't see the logo and I just saw the camo.
Great, now I'm a thief.
You are.
Perfect.
Only on Tuesdays.
I try to just make sure people don't see me.
Oh, perfect. That's easy. You just go like this.
Well, as much as I'm regretting it, thank you for coming short notice.
You don't regret seeing me. It's your favorite Tuesday activity.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
That feels awkward. It's a really weird Tuesday. It's Friday.
No, you still got like 3 more days of work. It's fine.
It's Friday, and it's the weekend before Christmas Eve and Christmas.
That it is.
Yes. And I told you that I wanted to talk about some shit for the holidays.
The mostest wonderful time of the year.
So I feel like you're already vibing with what I want to talk about, which is good because it means we're on the same page. For the listeners, I have not told them what we're talking about, and I have not told them anything about what I want to talk about. So,
except for holiday stuff.
Holiday stuff.
Oh, God.
Holiday stuff. So, fuck, I don't even honestly know where to start.
I almost feel more tired right now than I do on Mondays. This is weird. Having all day off is weird. I don't like it.
That's why I get so tired when I just sit around all day.
Yeah, this is retarded.
Mm-hmm. So, I wanted to start with some good instead of just diving right into the bad.
Oh, God.
The holidays are great, although I feel like they've lost their focus point. The holidays are awesome because you get to really spend more time with family, or at least that's the way it's supposed to be. I admire that, and it's cool, that everybody gets together and eats and shit like that, and, you really delve into the family time thing. Again, though, you're supposed to. Doesn't so much happen these days. But I wanted to really emphasize and talk more about the amount of stress that it brings because of the things that are expected because of these things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one that you're kind of hinting towards or leaning towards is like the gift giving and stuff like that.
It's definitely a big part of it.
I mean, that puts a huge financial burden on a lot of people that people don't really realize, especially when you're struggling as it is all year round. Like, it's hard to be like, all right, cool. Now, because
now I have to magically make money appear.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's a conversation that I had with my grandma just a couple days ago. Because she asked me, she's like, well, are you ready for Christmas? And I was like, honestly, I've kind of lost the spark of Christmas a while ago. I was like, to me now it's just more stress because, one, I don't have the money to be able to buy people presents, and I'm the type of person where I don't like people buying me things in general. So now if we're going to a thing where like it's accustomed to give gifts and receive gifts, and I don't have gifts to give back, I don't like getting the gifts myself.
Right.
Like, if I don't have something to give you, I don't want you to give me something.
That's a tremendous pressure.
And so, like, I've got stuff with part of my family that I have to go do on Christmas Eve, and then with the other part of my family on Christmas Day, and it's like, I don't want to go do either.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's one of those things where, and I told her, and my grandma was like, well, it's more the thought that counts. And
That's such a shit
and
lie.
she's like, you could do like one of your other aunts did, because she doesn't have a whole lot of money right now either, and so she got like little knickknacks for everybody of like what she feels that person would like or something like that.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, I had an idea and it's something that I still want to do. I just haven't had the time. Like, I wanted to make stuff like, because I've got a forge, I've got an anvil, I've got a quench tank, I've got everything I need to be able to make knives and stuff like that, do blacksmithing. And so for my dad and my grandpa, I was going to make both of them a knife, like a hunting knife.
Hmm.
And I haven't had the time to be able to sit there and do that. For, a couple other people, I wanted to make them cutting boards, real nice hardwood cutting boards. I haven't had the time to sit there and do that because, I mean, that's a 4-day process.
Right. That's a long process.
Between glue up, letting the glue dry, and so it's like, okay.
Curing sandings.
Well, especially if you do an end grain board, then you got to get the grain to pop so you can sand it down. So you got to soak it and then sand it and then soak it and then sand it. And
so amongst all the gifts and the feelings and the stress that kind of comes with them, it's always this weird, like, fucking, like you said, well, it's the thought that counts and this and that. And people say all this shit to just be kind, but you fucking, better at the end of the day. And, it's a real mental burden for it to be so focused on gift giving. Part of the other thing that has recently started to bug me more so, I don't know why recently. It's probably been a problem in the past, but is the scheduling and the household thing, and like, for example, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but being obligated because everybody else has gatherings to make sure that you make stops at all these different stops and locations.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
and houses and like, I get that. Then you don't show up, and now you're the asshole.
Yep.
For one point that I have is I have to be completely honest when I say that sometimes I would just like to do stuff like at my home. I would just like to cook here, and to do, if there's gatherings here, then fine. But maybe I would just like to celebrate with the closest people in my life,
Well, that's where I've noticed a few of like your podcasters and stuff like that. They've, I can't remember exact ones, so unfortunately I can't quote who they are, but quite a few of them. It's like it's like your older podcasters, have grown kids of their own that are in relationships and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the comment of they don't understand why parents, when their kids are, getting into relationships and moving out with their significant other and stuff like that, and then, having kids of their own even, and they're like, oh, well, how are you going to raise your kid? Are you going to raise them with this religion or like this, or we don't do that in our family? And the podcaster, he said, he was like, that's where you guys are wrong. You may not do that in your family, but you got to realize that is now your kid's family.
Right.
That is no longer your family. They've gone off to start their own family. They're going to start doing their own traditions that they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to raise their kids in whatever religion or not pushing religion or whatever their choice is, because it is now their family. So saying that we don't do this in our family, it's not, it doesn't carry the weight that you think it should.
It's a very complicated process, but it's definitely misunderstood hugely, in my opinion. Being 35, and yes, I'm still a baby, just like you are. You start to develop, and again, let me take a step back and go back to the stress factor of what we were just talking about. But now, instead of any point in time being able to enjoy the actual holiday that we're in, now it's just everything's timely scheduled, and now I just have to make sure that I get from one place to the other or into the next place, and You know, now everything's bit and chopped up because I have a schedule that I have to adhere to.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean,
the holiday for me is just me making sure I see everybody.
yeah, I mean, I don't know as much about like your family dynamic and stuff like that, but like if you look years past, especially when I was with, a couple exes ago, the one that I was with the longest, her family did something on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
My family does something on my stepmom's side of the family. They do their stuff on Christmas Eve. And then we have her parents that like to do it Christmas morning. And then I used to go to my dad's every Christmas morning, but then my dad was like, don't worry about it. He's like, I'll see you later at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had my mom's I'd have to get to on Christmas morning, and then I'd have to try and schedule that at the same time of when my stepdad's mom was going to come over and my other aunt was going to come over because they all wanted to be able to see us on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it was, okay, so now we're hitting 4 houses, and then I have to go back to my house, and then her parents still want us to be able to hang out with us later that evening also. So then after dinner and everything, now we have to drive all the way back to her house to be able to spend the evening with her parents. And so especially when you have like a split household like I do,
Yep.
and such a big split to where even like the step family has a split. So now it's you're going to 2 for that side, and then 2 for this side, and then we ended up at like 6 or 7 different houses we'd have to go to.
And there you go. There's no time in there for the real quality stuff that's supposed to be happening. And it's just, I don't have the answers on how to fix it. I guess the only thing I'm saying, if I'm saying anything at all, is that there needs to be definitely more understanding of what's actually happening.
I'd say the best like quote unquote answer that I have found is, besides the fact of like grandparents, because grandparents always want all of their grandkids and their kids and everything together on a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
So that one you're always going to have to try and work around. But as far as like parents and stuff like that, it's either, hey, we'll see you when we go to the grandparents, or it's a, hey, if you want to, you come to my house. Like once you're established and you have kids of your own and you have your own house,
Yep.
it's a, hey, I understand you would like to see us that morning, or be able to see the joy in the kids' face that morning, or whatever it may be. You can come do that at our house. We got a spare bedroom. You come stay the night if you want to be able to be there first thing in the morning. Cool, whatever.
Yep.
But we're doing it at my house because it's my kids' Christmas. I want them to be able to wake up. I want them to be able to open their presents. I want them to be able to play with their presents and enjoy their day. Like, because even when I was a kid, I remember it was a wake up, you open your presents, you played with your presents for maybe 30 minutes, and it was like, all right, get in the shower. Got to start getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of those things where I have always said, and me and my exes always agreed on, it was a once we get established and we're in a place of our own, the people that want to see us on that day are going to have to come to us.
I made a big stink about it. I'm not even gonna lie, because anybody that knows me of the situation that's listening will know. Maybe not. But Thanksgiving, I made a big stink about everything because 3 or 4 houses is just ridiculous, and 3 or 4 meals is just fucking ridiculous. Let me start there.
Don't lie to us. You never miss a meal.
Dude, I hate eating that much.
Liar.
I'm glad you chose violence today. I missed you so much. Thank you for ruining that train of thought.
Stink about Thanksgiving. 3 or 4 houses too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I told my whole side of the family, I said, fucking next year, you need to figure out how to collaborate. Everybody needs to figure out how to collaborate because I'm not fucking doing this every year. And I am perfectly capable of cooking for everybody, so...
Well, that's what I was going to say. Or you just take the reins yourself and say, hey, this is where Thanksgiving's going to be this year. If you guys have a problem with it, then I guess I'm not going to see you on Thanksgiving.
I make just as much fucking food here as anybody else does there. And it's just like... It's stressful. The money, the time, the effort. Nobody wants to get along. If they do get along, it's because everybody showed up at the same house for a small period of time, and it's just like I can't even really speak of the days of the holidays being that focused around family, because that's always been like the thing. That's always been like the verbiage that goes with it. But I can't remember a time when it hasn't been focused around like gifts and shit. Even Thanksgiving, you're always pressured into bringing some shit.
Well, see, when I was younger, I remember Thanksgiving. It was okay, whoever was hosting, obviously they woke up early usually, started the turkey, and then everybody would bring their stuff to that house and make it at that house.
Right.
Like everybody would come over, they'd all cook together.
Right.
And
that was part of the fun.
That was, yeah, hanging out, cooking all day, having a day just to enjoy the time with the family. And then now it's like, okay, everybody shows up with their crock pots and everything's already cooked. And they're like, all right, I cooked this last night. We just got to warm this up. And It's like, well, cool. You showed up at 2. We're going to eat at 3. And then everybody's going to pretty much leave right afterwards. So that was cool. We got together for dinner. I like it.
Yep. So
we can do that on Tuesday.
and to be completely reasonable about everything that I'm referring to, it doesn't also help that the way the economy and the world works, the way it's so fast now, the economy's shitter. We're all forced into working more for less. Everything, the price is going up. Blah blah blah. I can go.
Thankfully, gas is coming down. I filled my car up today for $36.
I can go on for days about all that shit, but the world working the way it does now does not make things any fucking easier.
No,
because now we have less time to deal with less money and less time to deal with everything that we need more time for.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, I mean, everything that I wanted to make for everybody, probably $200 at the absolute most. I could have made all of it. So I could have came up with the money, but at the end of the day, it came down to I didn't have the time. Like, legitimately just don't have. Like, December came around, I was like, oh crap, it's almost my birthday. And then I was like, oh damn, my birthday's next week, which means Christmas is like damn near the week following.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm fucked. I don't have enough time.
That's definitely been a problem for me, being a responder and not having a choice when I have off and if I have off, because it's not supposed to be when, it's supposed to be a big if. Luckily, this year I've been pretty blessed and I've gotten both holidays off. But I've had 1.5 million people ask me what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to structure it to see my son. And it's always been a giant, I probably work. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean you work Christmas?
People still get in. Actually, a lot of people get in car accidents on Christmas.
Yep, I'm like...
It's one of the busiest days.
I'm like, first responder. I don't know how many times I gotta fucking repeat that I drive a tow truck. First responder. Thanksgiving's on a what? Thursday? I work. What am I supposed to do? I don't know how to fix
People don't just magically learn how to drive on a holiday and don't crash.
Not one day where people don't get in trouble, because there's fucking every day. And that was a big fucking... That's a big issue for fucking everybody every single year, but I don't...
Yeah, I remember being younger when my dad towed, and...
Oh, yeah, so you've seen it. You've seen it firsthand.
Christmas, we'd just get done opening presents and everything, and my dad would be like, all right, I gotta go. And we're like, what? And he's like... Got a call. I gotta go. And within 5 minutes, he's out the door.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Yep. Same thing goes for law enforcement, EMTs, firefighters, RNs, doctors. The whole fucking crowd. It's not just me, for sure, but there's people that are handling. The world doesn't stop. I mean, it mostly stops, but doesn't completely fucking stop.
Yeah, I won't tell you what my schedule looks like for the next 2 weeks.
But yeah, like I said, on top of all that, I feel like it's a lot of negativity that nobody ever talks about, and I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it definitely brings a lot of stress and a lot of angst. Even months leading up to it. Like, I mean, you got to realize Black Friday, most people now use that for Christmas shopping. So people are starting Christmas shopping. I mean, people started before that, but even that's when they start doing the real big, heavily focused on Christmas shopping is usually Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We haven't even finished one holiday and people are already switching over to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I mean, most places do Black Friday on Thanksgiving nowadays. So it's literally you're eating your turkey, getting ready to go do your Black Friday shopping.
I've never once been Black Friday shopping.
Well, now you do it from your cell phone, right from the comfort of your couch. You know, you got to go to the store and get trampled no more.
Fuck. Well, on top of all that, I suppose we should shift gears and transfer back into what the true meaning of all this stuff really is. Because I'm gonna drop this tonight.
Are you though?
Yes.
Oh God.
Why was that so doubtful? Yes, I'm gonna edit it and drop it after we're done.
Huh.
God. In light of everything that I wanted to get off my chest, and I hope whether or not you speak on the issues audibly with your partner, with your family, or whomever you feel necessary, even if you don't, I hope that you keep in the back of your mind that the true things of the holidays, the true meanings of the holidays, still stand as long as you make them stand.
Yeah, and I mean, even going based off of, or bridging off of what Sage was just saying, speaking to your partners, I mean, about the holidays or, the issues or even the good sides of the holidays. Communication is going to be key on stuff like that. That's how you can get, even when you have to go to like 3 or 4 different houses and you feel like you're just stressed to the hilt. If you don't have communication, it's going to make it worse because now you're going to be fighting on the way to each house. You're going to be fighting while you're at that next house. You're going to be miserable. But if you have that communication, especially, not even just days ahead or anything like that, just communication throughout the year of like, hey, this is kind of the plan of what we're going to try and do and stuff like that, just so that you guys can have a plan of how you're going to execute it and you're both on that same page, to where it's not okay, well, I understand we've only been at your family's house for 3 hours and you probably want to spend some more time with your family, but my family is also blowing my phone up now. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a general understanding from both parties of, all right, cool, it's time to go.
It definitely should be.
So
it's a frustrating standpoint, believe me. I understand, and everything about the holidays is typically more frustrating than not. So it's kind of a difficult place. So
it's one of those where try and take that time, and it's very rare, like Sage was saying, everything runs fast now. Everything's so fast paced. Try and take this time with the holidays. Just slow down, enjoy yourself.
And that stands for you and your partner.
Exactly. I mean, even if you're only going to have 2 or 3 hours, maybe even an hour at a house, try and make as much of you can out of that time that you're there. Slow down. Don't put yourself in that rushed feeling the whole time. Don't be looking at your watch constantly. Don't be looking at your phone constantly, trying to find the time. And, an hour feels a lot longer when you're not sitting on TikTok. So when you're hanging out with the family, stay off your cell phone. Enjoy the time with the family. Turn the phone off for the day.
It's a lot to ask these days.
It is. But to get back into that true, what the holidays are truly about, spending time with family, enjoying the things we have, being thankful for the things we have, being thankful for, still being alive, being able to breathe, all that. I mean, you want to get back to the root of it. Get back to where we don't have technology. Remove the technology from the situation.
Also, to take the 1 month, whichever holiday it is, to acknowledge that this may or may not be the last holiday that you get to spend with certain relatives.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. I've never actually thought about that until right this second. My mom, whom you'll get to meet probably Monday, has been sick for most of my life, and I don't, to be honest with you, know how the fuck she's still alive. But all jokes aside, she any month could be the last one, so I should probably eat those words on my own.
Yeah, tomorrow's never promised.
Mm-mm.
I mean, even in your line of work, tomorrow's never promised.
Yeah.
It's one of those where no matter how old, how young, how sick, how healthy that person is, you'd never know that you're going to see him next year.
Could be the last opportunity you have to take a picture with somebody.
And one thing to also keep in mind, since this is a mental health focused podcast, do realize some of the happiest looking people, some of the people that you seem to be the happiest, are usually the ones that are struggling with the most. And those are usually the people that, right after a holiday, that's going to be the end of them. So keep those people close, make them feel loved, make them feel cherished, make them realize that there's a reason they're here and they were put here for a reason.
In spite of all the reductions that we've had to make and everything that we've decided to talk about tonight, one thing that I would like to add is, if you have a plan and you have embraced the chaos and the shit does work and you guys have a system or you have a system and everything's happy and it works that way, the way that we're referring to against, then do you embrace it? If that's what you're happy with and you're doing the thing the way you want to do it and you're cool with it, then
because don't get me wrong, sometimes that running around, it can be fun. Again, if it's all properly communicated and you guys have a proper plan. The first year that me and that ex were together, it was a little rocky. We argued a little, never really fought, but argued a little about it. And then that next year came around and we knew, like, hey, this is what we're doing. This, we're doing this. And it went smooth and it was fun. Like, we were able to have fun with it, able to enjoy it. And again, make the most of every moment that you have when you're driving. I mean, for us, it was a 45-minute drive to every house. So when you're driving, that's more time to spend with that person. Enjoy that time. Talk with them. Communicate with them. Sadly, a lot of your coffee shops and stuff are going to be open. Grab a coffee.
Tip well.
Enjoy your drive. Yeah, tip well because those people are working.
Take care of the people that are on board for holidays so they can take care of you. I imagine this will probably be the only last opportunity that I'll have to acknowledge the end of this year, because I didn't do it with any of my last recordings, and this is going to be the one that's posted that I do acknowledge it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, next weekend is New Year's.
Yep.
And also, if you fuckers are listening in Arizona, I understand how cool our gun laws are. Don't fucking shoot your guns off in the air, please.
Yeah, it's not cool.
We have lots of cool gun laws. Don't ruin it.
People know the difference between the sound of a gun and the sound of a firework.
And we don't know where those go when they come back down. And if there's a handful of people doing it, then we're going to have a handful of people who aren't doing it the next day.
Yeah.
So, anyway, New Year's is next weekend. Like I said, this is Friday, December 22nd. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So 2 days before Christmas Eve and 3 days before Christmas. So this is kind of crazy, because this will be the only time that we acknowledge that we've made it a whole fucking year.
One more year down.
Yeah. Well, this is the 1 year anniversary of this podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow. It's old now. Got to get rid of it.
I don't know when the first episode was. I should have looked before I started this, but I think it was early January of this year. I was trying to make it to 100 episodes before this, but it didn't work. Who knows? Maybe this next week I'll fucking jam it a bunch.
I was gonna say, you're in the 90s, ain't you?
Oh yeah, this is technically 92, but I'm gonna post it tonight, so it'll be. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is technically like 94, but it's gonna be posted as 92. So it's pretty cool. Almost made it. Almost did 100 episodes this year.
Sounds like we're recording 6 more tonight, guys. We're gonna be going all night long.
Oh, I need more alcohol for this. But yeah, enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the family. Love your family. Love your kids. Teach your kids. I think that's more important to me, because I've been really pressing on that for the kids that are in my life to make sure that they understand that this is not supposed to be about gifts. It's supposed to be about believing in something bigger than gifts. It's supposed to be believing in, family and cherishing that time. So enjoy that time. Celebrate a new year with all your loved ones. And again, make sure you take pictures. Don't shoot your guns. I know you Texans think you're all fucking hard and shit, but you ain't been over here. I'm just kidding. Please don't shoot me.
We'll think about it.
So, we will see you in the fucking new year. Hopefully bigger, better things will become of this. I had a lot of big goals for this in this last year, and I've set some even bigger ones for next year. I don't know how many more you can set for a podcast, but...
Oh, we can start reaching.
I have some ideas I'm going to share with you.
Sure.
If you still don't want to be an asshole... God!
You know you enjoy this every moment.
I don't.
You do.
And I say that I don't.
You love it.
Folks, this is not how a relationship's supposed to be. I did this to myself.
He beats me. It's fine.
I'm going to. Anyway. Everybody, I'm going to say the magic words that you're not supposed to say. But everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Great. Now we're canceled.
And a fucking great new year. Embrace the new year. Embrace the suck. Set your goals. Set them high and don't fucking let them go. New Year's resolutions are not meant to be let go of, and stop doing that. Don't say you're going to go to the gym because nobody fucking does it.
I mean, just name the bathroom gym, then you never break your New Year's resolution.
Oh, my God.
Go to it at least twice a day.
Just do me a favor for the new year of the Me vs. Me podcast in 2024, and give us a like, follow, subscribe on any platform that you listen on, and any of the socials, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of them.
Yeah, we're going to push Sage to make up for the lost episodes this year, so he's going to hit 200 by the end of next year. He's not allowed to take time off like he did this year. Slacker.
There's been a couple months this year where I've fucking really done nothing.
Slacker.
But now we have video.
Yeah, you're a slacker.
All right. I hear there's more Jack calling my name, so I'm going to close this out early. Anything you want to plug, asshole?
No?
No? You done? Like, follow, subscribe, and again, don't forget to have a fucking best new year.
We out of here.
We love you.